ready.
I don't know, we see.
All right, guys, we're turning the
do it.
cameras on
Hi
here,
there,
so.
everybody.
I said Elizabeth is on her own tonight, so look good?
Good luck.
All righty, and, you turned these on?
I did.
Okay.
Good.
All righty, it is 7 o'clock. I'd like to call to order a regular meeting of the Brookfield Inland Wetlands Commission. Today is Monday, the 23rd of June, 2025. My name is Sharon Fox. I act as chair of the commission. To my right is Mr. Dave Frankel, who is a regular member. To my left, Mr. Tom Keller, who is the commission vice chairman. Further down, Mr. Rob Scalera, who is an alternate. So all four of us will be voting members this evening. Also to my far right is Ms. Elizabeth Adams, who is our recording secretary. So if you will be speaking tonight, please help her out, and so she can get your name and address before you speak. All right, our inland wetlands officer report is not with us tonight, but I've got a couple little quick updates here. Nothing new on the school at 100 Candlewood Lake Road. Again, we're just waiting for a report to say built as proposed, or we had to make some changes. 58 Grace Bridge Road, again, nothing new. We're keeping that because there's a big contaminated soil remediation project there, along with some creating wetlands. And 500A Federal Road, Toll Brothers, it's the big development there. Nothing new there. And we haven't had big rain since, I think, our last 2 weeks. Let's see, on to enforcement. Number 1, 35 Merwin Brook Road. The Wetlands Enforcement Officer has been in touch with the town attorney, so we'll have more of an update on that when
We hear back.
yeah, when Laura is back. 51 North Mountain Road, we've got that a little bit further down on the agenda. 46 Green Ridge Drive, they've asked, they're working on an application here. This is the one with the volleyball court.
Mhm.
He said he was gonna
Yes.
get the wetland soil scientist to actually confirm where his wetland soils are. So we gave him until I think it was mid-July, I think. Something, it was something like that. It may not be mid-July, but we gave him some time to get that
they're
soil
all backed up right
report.
now.
Yep, and he's been very good about getting on that, so I'm very grateful. Let's see, 230A Wisconsin Road, we've got that a little bit further down on the agenda. So, anybody have anything you want to add to the wetlands officer's report? Again, we do not have a public hearing. We don't have a continued public hearing. We do have a public hearing for 172 Long Meadow Hill Road next week. So let's move on to the agenda. You are here for? Huckleberry, right, okay. And you guys refresh my memory. 51 North Mountain? Okay, we're gonna do them first, then we'll go to you, all right? So we're gonna go to 6A, 51 North Mountain Road. So, I think, did you guys give us a bond estimate on those trees that we had talked about? Something that's not familiar?
No, you said that you probably would enforce the bond, right?
Am I getting you mixed up with somebody
Yes.
else?
No, you said you were gonna enforce a bond, but.
Yeah, no, there was a mention of a bond.
we
I
don't know what
remember that.
Oh, I said, so I think the way we left it, help me make sure I get this right, is we had talked about, if you wanted to take down some trees in the wetlands for safety reasons, you can drop them, but you gotta leave them.
Yeah.
I think we talked about planting about, 20 sort of wetland species,
Yeah,
I thought it was 30.
in one area and then 10 in another, so thank you
Yes.
for that.
Yep, yep.
So,
how many, hold on,
what's that?
20 or 40, how many did?
I think it was 20, and there was a big area on one side. I got your
And then
map
30,
over here.
and then
It was
10 additional on it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I
there were-
ordered 20,
Okay,
so if it's 30, then I gotta order another 10.
okay. What'd you end up getting?
Swamp white oak,
Ooh, that's a nice that'll be nice.
They say that it'll get 50 to 60 feet.
Yeah, they're great trees. I'm
I
looking,
never, I mean, I've seen swamp maple, but not swamp oak.
yeah,
White oak.
do you have in your mind, did you get a quote from them as to how much they cost?
No, they just bought them right online.
You bought them online?
Yeah,
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
yeah,
May I ask the cost of those?
yeah. They were, I got a $16 tiered discount.
Ooh,
I bought 20 of them, it was $56, $12 shipping, it was $68.96 for 20.
wow.
3 to 6 inches sapling, seedling sapling.
So if we got another 10, that's $100.
Yeah, I can
These things.
add to it. you know.
Yeah, and we'd ask for them to be little, you know, to make it easy and not really mess up the, you
Right.
know, the wetlands and such.
They had other varieties, but I just thought mixing the oaks would be nice. I have a lot of oaks on the property. A lot of red oak and white oak. And then I have a lot of swamp maple.
Yeah,
And then some other mixed in different.
so right now, so you've got, they are swamp oaks?
Yeah, these are called swamp white oak tree. Seedlings.
When are you getting a shipment of them?
Yeah, they come in the mail. They're most likely gonna be like bare root, you know?
Yeah, well, yeah,
Bare root trees in an envelope. That's why I get a lot of my stuff. Well,
3 to 6 inches each.
the box.
and you're happy with either swamp white oaks, or did they have maples? Do you remember?
They did, but there's so many maples, I was thinking of maybe
Yeah,
mix in some oaks with them.
okay, or
I
maples.
do have a lot of oaks. I have more oaks. I have white oak and red oak there,
Yeah,
but I never had a swamp oak, so I was figuring. They said they're good for this area, so I figured I'd mix them in there.
I'm just writing some stipulations here that we had talked about. We talked about planting 20 trees, planting 10 trees. We're gonna leave any dropped trees in the wetlands. I think that was it.
Yeah, because they already planted the other trees, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, and they're kind of in the upland review area.
Mm-hmm.
So. Okay, so just to be sure we're clear, you know, you guys have a beautiful little wetland on your property, so anything that happens in, 75 feet from those wetlands, cutting trees, putting down patios, or not planting just everyday bushes, right? You need an application from the wetlands. Most of them, you know, it can either come here or it can be agent approval. So I just want to remind you of that. So I'm just talk to you guys. Again, I think it's okay that they're planting small ones. I mean, I think a part of the challenge is most of these trees came down and were dead as part of this mackerel burst.
Correct.
Right, which nobody was gonna foresee. So even though we would commonly, for something like this as a part of a violation, you know, we would set a bond. I don't feel like setting a bond for $100.
I was actually thinking the same thing.
I don't know how everybody feels about that, but I don't think it's necessary. I think it'd cost you more to set the bond up than it would to have the
I
bond.
tend to agree with you on
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I think,
I do think we should have some kind of confirmation that they were
I think we will.
planted.
Yeah, I think that's a very good idea. I think that's a good idea. So,
We could take pictures after. we-
yeah, send us a picture when they're done. So,
I have a little boat there that I can put in the swamp,
yeah,
because that's how I'm gonna plant them.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna walk in there.
no, right, no, we don't want you doing that. You can probably put them around. I'm sure they're gonna give you some instructions in terms of the depth of water that they can handle. I'm sure they'll probably end up
'Cause
being
I have
around
a lot
the
of
edges.
bogs there,
Yeah,
so I can plant it in that.
awesome,
Yeah.
awesome.
You
awesome,
know, out
awesome.
of the 30 trees, a few might not make it either.
Yeah.
I
that-
You know,
That's why the
especially if
That's
they're
why we
being
put the
shipped.
number.
That's why the number's
That's
at
why we
30.
put the number at 30, so,
Okay.
all right, so that's
Sharon
what
was
I'm,
anticipating some of them not making it.
Yeah, and you know, sending them via the mail and so on, that's gonna be very stressful.
so, I think, again, besides any of the usual stipulations, and as Dave said, asking them to send us an
Visual
email with a
confirmation.
picture on it that they're planted, I think that should be adequate. Everybody okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Yep.
Dave?
Yep.
All right, okay.
So would that just be downloaded into our file, you mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the fact that you got them planted, just send us a picture. I mean, Laura may come out conceivably, but I think the fact that you planted them, is going to be enough. Or probably, maybe send us a copy of your shipping label, that you get, and a picture, and I think that should bring this to
When
a
they
close.
come, I'll take a picture of them,
Yeah,
and then when I'm done, every time I plant one, I'll take a picture.
no, you don't have to take a picture of every single one. Just take,
Just
yeah,
at the end.
just take a picture of where they are. Send us a copy when you get because you'll get a shipping label on it or something, or you'll get a packing list.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully.
scan that for us, send us a picture of the whole place on the north side.
I bought their invoice.
Well, you can hold on to your invoice, because if
We're probably going to need two pictures because it's in two different
I think
areas,
so too, yep,
one
One
where
picture
you're
of each
playing
area.
Yeah.
the 20 and then one where you're gonna plant the 10.
Okay.
So those
Well,
are gonna be separate
I'll
pictures.
probably put a little stake, with some sort of string that will rot away,
okay,
just to hold them up for a year, so they don't.
fall
But
into the
they're only
water.
this big,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
saplings.
I think that's it. Okay,
If it doesn't rot away, you do wanna remove them after about a year or so. The stakes, probably.
Yeah, I'll just put little ones,
Yeah. They might rot away, but,
Oh, definitely.
Little twine in the water will probably disappear.
yeah.
okay,
What-
all right, well, I think we're good then. If anyone wanna make a motion, or I can do it if you want.
I'll let you do this one.
All right,
You have a lot of notes in front of you.
why not? I'll make a motion then to approve the plan to remediate the violation at 51 North Mountain Road. The application number is W-25-23. The remediation is described in a map by CCA with, looks like the original map is 8/20/19. And the stipulations for the approval are, number one, they're gonna plant 20 wetlands species in looks like the south wetland, and they will be either swamp white oaks or swamp maples. They will plant 10 trees in the north wetland, and again, those will be swamp white oaks or maple. They will leave any trees that are dropped now, or that they need to drop for safety reasons. If they are in the wetlands area, they must remain after they are dropped. The applicant will provide an email to the wetlands, to the land use office, to the wetlands
Yeah,
enforcement
land use
officer,
office.
to the wetlands enforcement officer with a picture of the packing list confirming that that they did receive the shipment, and pictures of the plants after they are planted. And these will be, the planting will be complete by September 30th, 2025.
I don't think it's.
Nevertheless, I'm gonna give you some time, okay?
That's a lot of time.
That's a lot of time, that's fine, right? It will be complete, so the report is expected by, or the email is expected by October 15th, 2025. This is with all the usual stipulations, and the violation will remain in place until we have confirmation of the plantings.
Okay, I'll second that. Sounds pretty good.
Anything else? I wanna add? All right, let me call the motion. All those in favor of the motion, signify by
Aye.
saying
Aye.
aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Okay, so you guys are,
What was the date that you wanted?
you're gonna get a letter in the mail, but the motion was to have them planted by the end of September 2025. and-
September 30th.
Excuse me,
Exact.
yes, thank you, Dave. September 30th, 2025, and the letter confirming that to be provided by October 15th, 2025.
Have it added to the file by then?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
You can always
with
do it
the
sooner.
Pictures, obviously.
yeah, you can do it sooner.
Otherwise you
Yeah.
forget.
My plants are gonna die.
Yeah, well, I wanted, I wanna give you time, I don't want you to,
Yeah.
who knows, something could happen, as Dave said, you could get them, and in the heat, they all died.
I was just gonna say, it's too hot this week to do much of anything
It's
outside.
too hot to do much of anything. Okay, so we
My
called
chicken
the,
died today from the heat.
Oh,
One of my chickens, yeah. Unbelievable.
okay. All right, you guys are all set, you're approved, you're gonna get a letter in the mail, that will document all the things that we
Okay.
just talked about, all right?
Thank
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Again, you do anything in the area, the Upland Review area, around the wetlands, we'll be happy to see you again.
All right,
Take care
thank-
now.
Okay.
Good luck.
All right. Okay, I'll make a motion then to go to
25, 28, 28?
6C, 5 Huckleberry Hill Road. Dave seconds?
Yes, of course, I'll
Dave
second.
seconds, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Okay, 5 Huckleberry. Again, I forgot to get their name and address.
I have it.
You got it? Okay, good.
I remember that.
And you have 5 Huckleberries?
Yes.
Let me get the folder. I think this one we've spent a lot of time sort of updating the map here, right?
Just changing a couple dimensions
Changing a
to
couple
match the tree line from what the map
Right.
showed.
Just to make sure that everything, she didn't have to take down any trees, right? Anything new that you have for us?
Believe that was the reason for changing a couple dimensions, because
Okay.
she wasn't taking
Yeah.
down any
Did
trees.
we,
It's in the backyard, I think, the fence.
I think the stipulations here, they weren't gonna cut any trees. The work on the west side will be east of the tree line. Did you decide what kind of fence you're gonna put in?
I think I'm just gonna do the, not the privacy fence, just the black kind of.
And how,
It
and
looks like
the,
a deer fence. but
yeah,
it's
so the
stronger.
posts, so what are the posts gonna look like? Are you just gonna, do you know, are they just gonna drive some metal posts in?
There's a sleeve, I think I
Yeah.
have pictures of them in the file, there's a sleeve that goes into the ground.
Okay.
And then the post just slides into it.
Okay.
That was in the file, I remember that from
Yeah,
last meeting.
yeah, I do remember that, but then there was a conversation about privacy fence and what kind,
Right.
so I just
Yeah,
wanted to
the other
confirm.
one would require like digging and gravel and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This does not do any of that.
Okay. All right,
Sounds good to me.
sounds good to you? I lost my pencil. And the fencing,
Do you have to get the change in dimensions initialed, or did you do that last meeting? I don't recall.
I think I initialed it last.
Did you?
yeah, here, yeah.
Okay.
Is that right? Upland, no, upland review area is orange. Oh, I think we changed the application around a little bit, but I think we're good on this.
Okay.
I think we're good on that.
Yeah, it was a minor change, just
Yeah, it was this, we changed the
Moving some
application, no
numbers
trees will
to-
be removed.
to avoid removing trees.
Yeah, or to sort of get the plans to align.
Mm-hmm.
So fencing will be, it's like it's a mesh, it's like, is it gonna be like a plastic mesh?
Yeah.
With metal posts driven into these metal posts,
All metal sleeve,
into a
Yeah, metal sleeve.
metal sleeve,
and then the post driven into the sleeve.
yeah, okay. All right. Okay. All right, well then I'll make a motion to approve the application at 5 Huckleberry Hill Road. It's activity number W-25-28 for the installation of a fence in the upland review area, noting a couple of stipulations. No trees are planned to be cut. No trees
No
are to be cut,
activity in
yeah,
the
no,
wetlands.
all work, like this kind of redundant. No trees will be cut, all work on the west side, this is a little redundant, but it's okay. Will be done, on the west side will be to the east of the tree line, the fencing will be a plastic mesh fencing with metal posts into a metal sleeve, and this is with all the usual stipulations, making note that the, map, and this is all described on a map by CCA with an original date of 5/12/506, and the fence and the dimensions are noted in a blue handwritten line. I think that's it. Tom seconds?
Second.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, you're all set. You're gonna get, I know what you heard, you're all set. You can have them install it tomorrow. You're gonna get a letter that confirms all of this. Okey doke, all right, well, good luck. Keep your dog out of the hot weather, please,
is that?
right?
Yes, he's in there.
Where's Dunsinane Road?
Yeah.
It's down off the patchy and stuff, I think.
About a septic system at 500
You keep it, I don't understand your question.
There's, I thought my contractor was gonna be here tonight.
Okay.
For the septic system.
Okay.
Do you have anything on the books for that anywhere?
We, from the wetlands, do not have anything besides your fence
Okay,
on,
so maybe it didn't need wetlands approval?
well, I don't know. Where's it going?
It is going
Over here.
This is.
Wait, here's the house,
Yep.
the deck, wetlands, it's going over here.
So so you've just failed the first wetlands quiz. You've just failed it.
I did?
Yep.
I don't need, because it's not in the wetlands? It
It's
doesn't have
not,
to come here?
not, first off, it isn't in the wetlands. These are the wetlands
Mhm.
flags. And it's second, it's not in what we call the upland review area. Or
Okay.
some people will call it a buffer area.
Mhm.
And that's the, this
That's
is
the
this little
orange thing.
orange line that we kind of mostly guessed, kind of basically measured.
Mhm.
And so if your septic system is on this side
Mhm.
of the upland review area, then you do not need wetlands. You definitely need the sanitarian, but
Yeah,
you do not need
'cause
us.
I know he, I think his name is Paul.
Paul,
He's met with Paul, they've done all of that, but I
Mhm.
could've sworn he said he needed to come here tonight, but maybe he talked to Laura and maybe Laura said no.
if it's going over, again, I'm just going off of what you
Yep.
said, okay?
They definitely running, yeah, definitely over here.
Yeah,
It's possible to pass by Laura.
yeah, they do a really good job there with the sanitarian and wetlands and zoning, so any little conversation or application will pass through everybody's hands and they
Mhm.
say, oh, we care, or, no, we don't care.
Okay.
All right, so that could be that. If he was looking, I don't remember exactly what your GIS map looked like. I don't remember seeing any wetlands on that side of the property,
I
but,
don't believe there are.
yeah. But you can always call Paul and check,
Okay,
okay? And I think Laura,
so I don't need to take anything today?
No.
Everything, I'll get
nope,
something.
nope, you're not, you're probably not done, but you're done with that. You're
Okay.
done with the fence.
Thank you so much.
Okay, take
Okay,
care.
good luck
Good
with
night.
everything.
Thank you.
I'm gonna guess that was one that Laura could approve.
Yeah, probably, not requiring
Correct.
wetlands, so. All right, well then let's go back to 8. I always mess this up, but let me try.
6B?
Dunsinane?
Dunsinane.
Dunsinane?
Dunsinane.
Dun, it says an A.
I've never heard it pronounced that way.
Dunsinane.
That's-
It's Dutch.
Okay, that could be the correct
Okay.
pronunciation, but I've never heard it pronounced that way.
What is this? Okay, I don't know what this is. All right, let's just get this one. I think this one was pretty straightforward too, if I remember.
Another tree clearing.
It's one of the few streets in Brookfield I've never heard of before.
Oh, really?
Isn't it
Yeah,
over
I've lived here for
south?
decades.
It's in that vicinity, yes.
Yeah.
Up to south, Apache area.
Yeah, I don't like to go there. I get lost down there. Get like completely lost, because the roads, you start going north and then you end up, going south and.
Up to south, the road numbers are all, house numbers are all weird. It goes like 40, 62,
They're all weird.
31.
Yeah. All
Not
right,
sure what they were doing when they were numbering that street, but
Used to be the zoning enforcement officer assigned the numbers. Okay,
that was done what, back in the 70s? 77-ish?
yeah, or earlier. All right, I think we decided that this was the map here, the one that was received June 9th. And
Oh,
he's cutting some trees that would be in the upland review area. But he's not cutting any trees that, according to this GIS map, that are in the wetlands, so I think this one's pretty straightforward. All right,
Does he have to replace the trees he's cutting?
no, it's just upland review.
Okay.
Yeah, just, I
and
mean,
he's
I
got
think
some
that's
that
what
are
it was.
definitely hanging over the house, if I
Yeah,
remember
we
correctly,
definitely
now
want-
that I
yeah.
see the map.
Yep, yeah, we showed some pictures, and we don't want that, right? Couple pictures over the
Mhm.
house. Over a shed, probably. Where's the shed? I don't even see the house. Okay. All right, here we go. I'll do another one. I'll make a motion to approve W-25-22 8.
It's Dunsinane.
Thank you. Just checking. Dunsinane, Dunsinane Road. Project is described on the Town of Brookfield GIS map with a receipt date of June 9th, 2025, and noting that all the tree clearing, there's no tree clearing that is being done in the wetlands, but some of the tree clearing is being done in the upland review area.
I'll second.
Okay, Dave seconds. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous.
I've been there. Thomas.
Okay. Just a little bit of trivia that's stuck in your head.
Well, the Scots
Okay.
make a really big deal out of it.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right, that's that. Okay,
That's
50,
right there.
54 Obtuse
yeah.
Rocks Road.
There's just the power going to the boathouse, correct?
The
Yeah.
boathouse, and I think we had talked about,
This is probably-
most of it's running in some old road bed, but some of the early part
54
was not, and they were gonna have to clear something. I think we talked about maybe staking a couple of
Staking a
bales.
couple bells of hay at 100.
Yeah, you had said at the very end, some bales of hay, yeah.
There was some discussion between staking them at 50 foot or 100 foot, and I think we settled on 100 foot because 50 foot is overkill.
Yeah.
There's a house in there.
Where is it?
What's that?
There's a house in there?
No, that's, right where you turn into Obtuse Rocks.
Right where you turn in,
Right
yeah.
where you turn in, you got that little roadway that goes down. You got a little parking lot there for people to park and walk the trails onto Old Noah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, right there.
Right there. They're running power down there to the boathouse for
Oh,
Lake Authority.
oh, okay.
Oh, let's see, I know I wrote on
So it's all gonna be running like adjacent to the road, so it'll be backfilled with some gravel.
Along the Fred Beer's
One
Brook.
with a match.
Yes, but a little off, along the Fred Beers, right in the beginning maybe,
There we
but
go.
then veering off.
Hmm, interesting.
All right, so this
Gonna run right
is,
down the roadway.
this is said map. I think we talked about maybe 2 hay bales, one at the beginning to anything that comes off the road.
I think that is new, but I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think we just said down by the,
I think I just had 2, sort of one right here and
All right.
then one halfway down or something like that.
Well, right down there at the secondary
end.
mark would be where it hits the roadway.
With something right about yeah.
Right,
so
right,
ju-
where,
just-
right where it hits the roadway.
Right
and then
where it
in
hits
the
the
beginning
roadway.
for any runoff from the road, okay.
Yeah, I mean, they can use their judgment, you know, in terms of, because it is a pretty steep slope here. I assume something like Laura will get a chance to get out there, so we'll put maybe in the motion, you know, that they will, when the hay bales will install, they'll call the land use office and let them know.
Yeah.
Fair
now,
enough.
I do think the hay bales by the road, I think that's something new from today, if I'm,
No, it's on
I
the
wrote it
we
down.
drawing.
mentioned it last
Well,
time.
I
Yeah.
wrote it
Okay.
on the map. I don't know what the conversation was.
And I'm willing to bet being they're backfilling the same day, that's gonna fill back in with vegetation pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It won't this week, of course.
No. So I'm just gonna make, applicant will call the land use office. Okay. Keep putting this right on top of my agenda here. Whoa. All right, well then I'll make a motion to approve W-25-29 54 Obtuse Rocks Road for the installation of this electrical service to the boathouse. Making note that the plan includes a construction sequence. They'll be using a small backhoe or an excavator to trench to the location. The activity will be done in 5 to 10 days. All the work will be done, as much as possible on the existing old road, where the excavation is not on the gravel road. 2 hay bales will be installed, one at the top by the Obtuse Rocks Road and one further down the hill. And after the hay bales are installed, the applicant will call the land use office.
Do we
With
also
all
want
the
a visual
usual-
confirmation?
No, I don't think so. With all the other usual stipulations. No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
I will second that.
All right, any other discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Okay, next is, again, we've got some more pond treatments. DEEP just lets us know, we don't do anything about it. Review of the previous minutes. I read them, nothing jumped out at me. Alan?
I didn't see anything.
Okay, all right.
I'm
Tom.
abstained.
Okay, Tom, you wanna approve the minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the June 9th Inland Wetlands meeting as presented.
Dave's gonna
I'll
second.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Informal discussion. Elizabeth, those always include you, by the way. If you see something that you wanna talk about, let us know.
You got everything tonight? You got all the information? Good, good.
Okay, well, with that, I will entertain a motion to, oh, let me call that motion, right? Or did I call it? I've called, all those in
no.
favor?
Yeah.
Oh, almost forgot. All those, excuse me, let's go back to the motion I didn't call. All those in favor of approving the minutes from June 9th, 2025 signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Now on to informal discussion. Nothing? All right, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, I made the motion, Tom seconds that, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous, we are adjourned.
Turn off your mics, everybody.
Okay. All right.
You know,